What's the most savage thing a teacher has said to you? Senior year, this kid Josh thought he was untouchable because his dad was on the school board. He'd show up 20 minutes late every day, interrupt class, talk back to teachers, the whole deal. His dad donated a new football scoreboard and renovated the teacher's lounge, so administration basically let him do whatever he wanted. Mr. Walters was different though. He was this older guy, maybe late 50s, who'd been teaching history for 30 years. He was one of those teachers who actually cared, stayed after school to help students, brought in donuts on test days, wrote recommendation letters, but he had zero tolerance for disrespect. For the first month of school, Josh tested him constantly. He'd walk in late with food. Mr. Walters would mark him absent. Josh would argue his case. Mr. Walters would just keep teaching. It was this quiet war nobody talked about, but everyone noticed. Josh's friends thought it was hilarious. They'd laugh every time he strolled in late, like it was some kind of performance. Then one Tuesday in October, we're learning about the Vietnam War draft. Mr. Walters is explaining how young guys barely 18 years old got called up whether they were ready or not, had no choice, shipped overseas within weeks. He's actually getting emotional about it because his younger brother died over there in 1968. The whole class is locked in, actually paying attention for once. You could hear people breathing. That's when Josh strolls in 30 minutes late. Not 5 minutes, not 10. 30 full minutes into a 50-minute class. He's got a Starbucks venti cup in one hand, phone in the other, AirPods still in his ears. Mr. Walters stops mid-sentence. He's holding up this black and white photo of soldiers in a jungle, and he just freezes. The classroom goes completely silent. Even Josh's friends aren't laughing. Josh doesn't even look up. He's checking his Instagram as he walks to his desk in the back row, taking his sweet time. Mr. Walters very slowly puts down the photo. He walks to the center of the room, arms crossed, and just watches Josh sit down, take out his AirPods one by one, and set up his stuff like nothing's wrong. Finally, Josh notices everyone staring. He looks up at Mr. Walters and goes, "What? My bad, traffic was crazy." Nobody breathes. We all know something's about to happen. Mr. Walters nods slowly, like he's thinking. Then he says in this eerily calm voice, "Josh, do you know what they called people who showed up late in Vietnam?" Josh leans back in his chair, smirking. He thinks this is going to be some boring history lesson he can ignore. His boys in the back are grinning. "What? Dead?" The word just hangs there in the air. Josh's smirk falters for a second, but he tries to recover. Mr. Walters walks toward him slowly, and I swear the temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. See? In war, you don't get to blame traffic. You don't get a Starbucks run. You show up when you're supposed to, or people die because you weren't there to cover their position. Josh shifts uncomfortably in his seat. Okay, but it's just class, man. Relax. Worst thing he could have said. Mr. Walters stops right at Josh's desk, looks down at him. Just class? He looks around at all 32 of us sitting there. These students showed up on time. They're here to learn about people who sacrificed everything. They respect the material, they respect each other, and they respect me. But you? You walk in here 30 minutes late like you own the place. Josh tries to interrupt, but Mr. Walters cuts him off with a hand. "Your father calls me every single week, every Monday at 3:45 p.m. Do you know what he asks me?" Josh's face goes from confident to pale in about 2 seconds. "Mr. Walters, come on." He asks why you're failing my class. Why his son, who he's paying $200 an hour for SAT tutors for, can't pass basic American history. The whole class is frozen. The girl next to me, Zoe, has her hand over her mouth. Josh's friends in the back are looking at their desks. You want to know what I tell him every week? Josh doesn't answer. He's staring at his Starbucks cup now, face turning bright red. Mr. Walters leans down so he's at eye level with him. His voice gets quieter, which somehow makes it worse. I tell him that his money can't buy his son a work ethic. I tell him that entitled doesn't look good on a college application. And I tell him that one day, the real world is going to hit you so hard, you'll wish you were back here learning basic things like showing up on time. Someone in the back, I think it was Ben, whispers, "Oh my God," under his breath. Josh's hands are shaking. I've known him since freshman year, never seen him speechless before. His whole persona just crumbled. Mr. Walters straightens up and walks back to the front of the room. He picks up that photo of the soldiers again, looks at it for a long moment, then turns back to us. Now, as I was saying about young men who thought the rules didn't apply to them, he went right back to teaching, like nothing happened. Josh sat there the entire period frozen, didn't say a single word, didn't check his phone once, didn't move except to breathe. When the bell rang 20 minutes later, he was the last person to leave. I saw him throw away that Starbucks cup on the way out, still full. Next day he showed up 5 minutes early, sat in the front row. He was early every single day after that for the rest of the year.